What if I was to tell you that the real estate market is about to burst? Canada, the US and Europe could suffer another serious crisis. Is there a bubble? Will there be a crash? Let's get started. The one thing that I have mentioned several times is that the price of housing has been increasing for several years. Just because prices have risen so much does not mean there is a bubble. Property prices could go up because an increase of population, wage increases, or home improvements, or because interest rates being so low that people find it cheap to finance the purchase. One way to see if there is a bubble is to look at the rental data and compare it to property prices. So we look at the price to rent ratio. If there was no bubble, we should see that rents should follow price or vice versa. In this chart we see what happened in the year 2000 leading up to 2009, where the ratio was well above 100 for the United States. That is when we had the 2008 crash. Canada was still affordable at that time. But look what happened at around 2016. This is a sign that property prices are inflated. All this started in 2020 during COVID, and central banks injected their economy with lots of cheap money by lowering interest rates. The most important question is, when will this bubble burst? Well, bad news. Everything indicates that it has begun.
UK house prices fell at their fastest annual pace for nearly 14 years in May.
UK prices set to slide 10%.
CIBC warns of a housing shock. Look at what is happening with commercial real estate. This time is different because Canada's debt far exceeded GDP. And Canada's debt is not like Japan's, which is mostly internal. The good news is that about 76% of Government of Canada debt was held by Canadian investors. So overspending means higher taxes. One thing that is noticed in the market is the increase in power of sales. The other thing that happens often is that properties are sold conditionally and then come back onto market because the buyer could not finance the purchase. And then there are those that have been on the market for a long time and have not sold despite continued decreasing the price. There are even homes that are sold that have not finished being renovated. What do you think? Is immigration going to save the market, or is that going to define the peak? Where is the risk more likely, upwards or lower? Call me for more information, and if you want to sell or buy your home,